Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to yet another cooking with me video. Today I'm doing a meal prep. I haven't done one of these in a very long time where I prep a lot of food for the coming week. I just decided to do it this way because I have a very busy week coming up. So first of all, I boiled some eggs and I just put them in ice cold water when they had boiled. The next step is preparing all the meat. I'm going to start with meatballs, and I need 1 onion or at least 2/3 of it for the meatballs. So first I just chop up some onions, and then to my mince I add salt and pepper, and then I add an egg yolk, and I then add the onions and some garlic. I usually, well, when I did carbs, I used to put breadcrumbs in my meatballs, but I don't do that anymore. And I find that if I use just the egg yolk without the white, the meatballs hold together anyway, and they don't get too watery. So I'm just going to mix it all up with my hands because that's the best way to do this. And then I will divide it into 12 equal, let's say equal bowls. If you have time, you can put this on the scales to make sure that you have the same amount of mince per meatball, but I was just eyeballing it. When I finish preparing the meatballs, I then put some bacon on a tray. As you know, I like cooking a lot of bacon at once, even when I'm not doing a meal prep for the week. This just makes life easier. Then I have bacon ready for whatever meal I want to use it for. I'm going to put both these trays in the oven at the same time, just to save electricity and time. So on to the next meat. I'm going to prepare some beef that I've just defrosted. This is brisket on the bone, and as you can see, it's got a lot of fat. When I'm roasting it in the oven or barbecuing it, I don't mind the fat because it drips off, and then when I cut it, I just remove whatever will be left. But the way I want to cook it, I need to remove that fat because, as you will see, it will be a lot in the pot anyway, even after I have removed as much visible fat as I can. So this is a bit of a time consuming task, but it's worth it to do it that way. I'm just going to put it in my skillet and put it on the stove. I season the beef with all-purpose seasoning. I don't put any salt because there's enough salt in the all-purpose seasoning, and I put a lot of it, as you can see. I'm just going to add some water, and I'm going to put this to boil for about half an hour to 45 minutes. This allows the bones that the beef that is attached to the bone to cook thoroughly before I then dress it with tomatoes, onions, and greens. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I love chicken. So for every meal prep, I always have some chicken. I got my butcher to just cut baby chickens in half. I bought 3 of them because my butcher sells in multiples and you get a discount if you buy that way. So for this chicken, these 2 halves, I just put salt and pepper, and then I make up the seasoning in the Ziploc bag where I'm going to marinate the chicken. I added some olive oil, some lemon juice, some apple cider vinegar, and I also added oregano and thyme. So you can basically add any herbs that you like because this is a lemon and herb chicken. It's for anyone who doesn't want any chili in their chicken. I'm going to barbecue it for my kids, half of it, and the other half I'll put it in the oven today, and then I will use it as a lunch during the week. Please don't get triggered by my use of Ziploc bags. I reuse these bags. If I've used it for raw meat like this, when I take it out, I will clean it, wash it with soap, and then use it for meat again. I will not use it for vegetables or anything like that. Now for the second chicken, I just use peri peri spice rub. It's chili, it's hot. I also added some salt and pepper and some olive oil, and then I put it in a Ziploc bag as well. So this is all ready for me to use for Monday night. Now that I'm done with the raw meat, I just wash my chopping board with soap and hot water, and I also cleaned the surface with a soap and antibacterial spray. This is just to make sure that I do not poison my family. And if you noticed, I do like washing my hands frequently as I cook. So that's the bacon as it came out of the oven, and when it had cooled down a little bit, I just put it in this lunchbox with a paper towel to drain any excess fat. I will take the paper towel out before I put the bacon in the fridge. I'm hoping to invest in some glass lunch boxes. I saw some on Amazon, especially for food that I need to reheat. So next I'm going to just dress the beef and also make the marinara sauce. I chopped 2 brown onions, as you can see, and then I washed my greens, the cavolo nero, and just sliced it up. We grow this cavolo nero in our allotment. We've got a variety of kale type vegetables, and they're just delicious if you mix them in meat, or even if you just cook them on their own as a side to any meat dish. So now that the beef has all the water has gone, as you can see, I'm just going to fry it a little bit, make sure that it browns, and then I will add onions when it has browned properly. In the other pot, I'm going to make the marinara sauce. I'll start with 1 onion, which I fry in a little bit of olive oil, and then I add some garlic and fry that for a minute before adding herbs and tomatoes and all that. So because I'm doing this at the same time, I'm going to be shifting the camera from one pot to the other. I also added the onions to the beef and continued frying my onions in the marinara sauce pot. So that's the garlic going in. The garlic just needs to be fried for a minute so that it doesn't burn. You can use fresh garlic, but I'm using just pre-chopped garlic from the lazy jars. So I'm adding passata sauce into the beef and some passata into my marinara pot. Added salt and pepper into the marinara, and I added some mixed herbs as well. I also added Worcestershire sauce and sugar-free barbecue sauce. So next I added greens to my beef, as you can see, and I just put the lid on so that they can steam a little bit. My marinara sauce is done now, so I'm going to add it to the meatballs that I've taken out of the oven. This is how they look coming out. When I've added this marinara sauce, I just mix it up, and then I will cover it up, and when it has cooled down, I'll put cling film on it and put it in the fridge. During the week, I'll just stick it in the oven to heat it up, and I'll either add pasta, or for myself I might have it with zucchini noodles or just a side of vegetables, depending on what I feel like having on that day. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to press on that subscribe button, click on the like button as well, and make sure you click on the bell's notification bell so that you're always notified when I post new videos. I always post cooking videos on Sundays, and on Thursdays I post vlogs. So back to my beef. Now that the vegetables have steamed, I'll just mix them slightly with the sauce underneath them, and then that's it. Because I'm gonna reheat these greens, this beef and greens during the week, I don't want to overcook the greens at this point in time. If you feel that there is too much fat, this is the point where you drain some of it off. This dish is really good if you're doing a ketogenic diet because it's high in fat and very low in carbs. You can just have the meat and the greens and that's it. But my family is gonna have theirs with salsa. So the lemon and herb chicken has marinated. So I'm gonna take half of it and put it on this baking tray. Trying not to spill everything everywhere, and I'll just add a bit of that marinade liquid on top and just rub it in. I'm gonna bake this in the oven at 200 degrees for about 30 minutes. So we got these vegetables from the allotment during the week, and I'm gonna use them to make a vegetable curry. First of all, I washed the kale for curly kale. Yes, I washed that, and then I'm just gonna strip it off and chop it and put it in a bag. I'm also going to cut some zucchini into chunks. I've got both yellow and green here. You can use any zucchini that you like, really. So I'm just gonna cut some onion as well, one brown onion. I'm using all these vegetables for the vegetable curry, so I'm just gonna put them in one bag. So during the week, I just take out the bag with the onions and all the other vegetables and fry that and make the curry and add the kale towards the end. Hence why I put it in a different bag. I sliced the leftover peppers and just put them in a different Ziploc bag, and I'll use those for salads or wraps during the week. This is the curry paste that I'm going to use to make the curry during the week. Now that my chicken is done, I'll just let it rest for a bit on the tray for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to cut it up and put it in a lunchbox. Again, I would have preferred a glass lunchbox, but this will have to do. At least I'm not going to reheat this chicken because I'm using it in salads and in a wrap. So I'm just going to cut it and make it ready for the week. Don't worry, we're now in the home run, as I say. The last dish that I'm going to make as part of this meal prep is an egg and tuna salad. I use this in a wrap. I use lettuce as the wrap during the week. So I put 2 boiled eggs in there and a can of tuna. That will give 2 meals. I also put this spicy jalapeno chili relish because I like chili, as you know. And you can add salt and pepper there. And then I just add plain mayonnaise. And then I'll just put this in a lunchbox. Right, as I'm editing, it's 11 p.m. and I need to put this up for tomorrow morning. I just realized that it might help if I showed you my meal plan, and then you'll see how I use the food that we prepped today. So tomorrow for brunch, we just normally have eggs, fried eggs, bacon, and maybe some spinach. And then we're gonna have a Sunday roast that my daughter is gonna make. I'll use the tuna and egg salad in a lettuce wrap on Monday. And then in the evening, we're gonna barbecue those chicken halves that I marinated. I have this little baby barbecue that we use to just barbecue for one meal. On Tuesday, I'll have the chicken salad. I'll have a chicken salad using that chicken that I prepped. So I'll just put it on top of lettuce, cucumber, and peppers, maybe some spring onions as well. And I'll make a dressing. If not, I'll just put some garlic mayo and be done with it. And then in the evening, we're going to have meatballs with whatever we feel like having on the day. It's a meatball marinara. My family love meatball marinara sandwiches, like Subway type. So we might have that, or we might have them with pasta. On Wednesday, I will be repeat lunch, tuna and egg salad, and then we'll have the veg curry in the evening. I think it's good just to have a vegetarian meal at least once a week. If you can do it more than that, even better. But we love meat. We're trying here. And then on Thursday, I'll have a chicken wrap. I'm going to use those capzone wraps, tortilla wraps that I got. And then in the evening, I will have the beef and greens that I prepped today. And my family will have it with salsa. On Friday, leftover beef and greens for lunch. And then in the evening, we got some brim from Morrison's. I grew up eating freshwater brim and it's just delicious. The Morrison one is seawater brim, but it is just as good. I'm gonna have that with halloumi and veg, and I'll make some wedges or chips for my family. And then on Saturday, we just have the Costco burgers and the takeaway in the evening. So that is all that is how I will be having my meals. I hope you're inspired to do some meal prep, because it makes life easier during the week if you have a busy week. If not, then you can just make these meals every day as you go. You don't have to meal prep most of them anyway. So thank you very much for watching to the end. Until next time, this is Lindi.
On my own, but it's all